putting in a comment for those of you who are going to join in just a second. Pin comment. There we go. Now people know what we're talking about. Ahmad, you're number one. Well, congratulations. There's probably a few of you happening all at the same time too. So, hi, Ashley. Okay. As we start getting more people, I am going to just kind of give you guys a brief introduction. My name is Anna Seidel, and I am the author of I say Nail Structure and Product Chemistry so much, and that's written by Doug Schoen, that it's real easy for me to screw up. Anyway, I am the author of nailcarehq.com, and that's where you can find over 80 articles that I've written about honest and truthful information about nails and nail care. Okay. Oh, somebody says it's nice to see you. And again, I love your earrings as usual. Oh, you guys, I moved in October and I still haven't found, come on, coffee, wake up. I still haven't found all my earrings, so you'll get to see a lot more as time goes by and I unpack boxes. Okay, somebody asks me, Prince Tommy, do you do gel on your nails? So usually people ask me right away, what am I wearing? I am wearing a Color Club holographic, which since it's summertime here in Olympia, Washington, we don't get enough sun. I only wear my hollows during the summer. When it's winter, it's like cloudy and rainy for months, a lot of months. And so then it's like, oh, it's a waste because I don't get to see it sparkle. Even Corey is like mesmerized, especially when I'm driving. He's like, oh, look at your hollow. And I'm like, I know, if I watch too much, I might crash my car. And then the other one is, it is an OPI liquid sand. You guys are so good and you remember the names of all the polishes. I don't. I have so many that it's just like, oh, that's a pretty purple. Let me just wear that one and let me go find a matching. So I got kind of lucky this one. They work really, really well together. Okay, so Prince Tommy, do you do gel on my nails? Excellent question. I actually wore hard gel for 20 years. I started when I was in college, and I was a lifeguard and a swim instructor for 8 years. Yeah, about 8 years. And of course I was in water a lot, and so I could never keep polish on. And I now know why, because the water was getting underneath the nail tips and it was breaking that polish to nail plate bond, and so my polish would chip like in 24 hours. And so gel was great for that. And the challenge with that was it wasn't a soak off gel, so it was it behaved a lot like acrylic, but it was a little more flexible, which is what I liked about it. So I had to file down half of the product very carefully and try not to chew up my live skin, which is challenging. And so I would remove half the product and then reapply my base coat and the color and the top coat. And so when I started having children, and I have 4 children, it just got harder and harder to do that. I was doing my fills about every 3 weeks, and it would take me an hour and a half because I'm a super perfectionist, in case you don't know that about me. And so I think it was by the time I got to number 3, maybe number 2, I was just like, I don't have time for this. And I'm dealing with the stupid car seats, and so then they were breaking all the time. And anyway, and that's such a good example of lifestyle dictating the length of your nails because of how you go through life. So, a lot of us, we just can't have longer nails just because they break. And what the nail art community has taught me is that as long as short nails are well manicured, so well filed and shaped, they can be really, really beautiful. So don't feel bad if you just can't seem to get those tips longer. It's okay. So I stopped wearing gel, again with the children, and so then as they were starting to get older, and I wasn't dealing with the stupid button and car seats for children, then it was about the time that the soak off gels came, and those were great. There wasn't enough information at the time that of how to really properly remove them, and so I was using, like it said, when it dissolves after you soak for your 10 minutes, whatever, and I would use an orange wood stick and push it off, and I ended up gouging my nails, and I actually want to show you guys a picture, because I was being gentle. I'd learned over the years to be really, really gentle, and I want to show you which one's the scrape from gel. I think these both are from an orange wood stick. I'll try and tip it. But anyway, so this is undissolved gel on your nail plate, which people tend to want to really, really push. And so then you end up with microscopic gouges and even here. So even though we don't think we're doing damage, we should never, ever, ever push it off with an orange wood stick, or even a metal tool is even worse. So it's really, really important that you soak, and Doug Schoen says that it can take up to 30 minutes depending on the gel. And another key is make sure that you remove, before you start soaking, make sure you remove that shiny surface, because the acetone cannot break through that. So once you've buffed off that shiny surface of your gel, then you can go ahead and soak. And this is why we came up with our soak and swipe clips. Where'd you go? Where'd they go? There we go. So that it's really easy. Remember how we have to do, like the old way is wrapping, soak a cotton ball and then, wrap it with tin foil and sit around with, you've got tin foil fingers. And so now we came up with these clips. And so you do the cotton and you just clip it, and you can sit for as long as you need, especially if you're just watching television. That's a great way to do it. Or watch YouTube videos, and I've got lots of these videos so you can learn more. I was talking about the sale a lot last week, so definitely want to talk about nail care more often. And a big push or support is that I want to do for you guys this month is now the challenges that we have. So anyway, I want to finish this up of you just apply that, you soak, and when you remove the gel, if you want to remove it with firm pressure and pull it all off. And if you still, so like this picture, if you still feel all of these little bumpies on your nail plate, that's undissolved gel. And so what you need to do is soak again for like another 10 minutes. And then it should just all slide off. Your nail should feel smooth, and it will not have damaged them at all. So I hope that helps. Let's move on to something new. Top coat. What is it for? And Rosanna. I'm guessing English is a second language. Sometimes I don't quite figure out. It says top coat your for what is good. I am going to interpret that is a top coat a good thing? And yes, it is very, very important. The reason for that is that your base coat tends to be a ridge filling base coat, especially tends to be softer because it's full of more nitrocellulose, which settles down into those grooves. And then your polish is it's a little bit harder, has more resins, and it has, I'm blanking on the name, but anyway, more of those resins that make it a harder product, but it's not super durable. And so it's the extra resins in the top coat that make it really shiny and give it that really tougher added strength, so that you have a really, really good layers of all of those polishes to temporarily strengthen your nail tips. And it seals out water, which is very damaging. So I'm going to guess the other thing, do I have a particular favorite top coat? Right now, actually, yes. This one is my favorite. It's inexpensive. It dries quickly. I've tried all kinds. There's many good ones. But for some reason, I like this one. We used to carry our own, but then the supplier just shut down. So I would have to work with a manufacturer, and that's a process. Anyway, okay. Hi, pretty Anna. Thank you. Hi, Megan. Love the nail color. Is it Date with Destiny? I have no clue. See, this is where I talk about you guys. You guys just know the names of things. So I couldn't tell you. Sorry. I don't even know. I think it's back at my nail table at work. Hi, Anna, me again. What do you think about these gel polish that don't need curing or base coat? Could they damage your nails? No, I actually think that, I almost feel like it's a marketing gimmick. There's probably a little bit more, there's something, because I am not a chemist. I don't know that at all. But is it something that really makes it more like gel? No, because if it's going to just remove like normal polish and you don't have to sit there and soak for a long time, then it's not gel. So I think they're just trying to give you this long durability where whether it actually works, I have a couple of them that say that they're like a gel without light kind of thing. To me, they behave like normal polish. So no, they won't damage your nails. What damages your nails is too much scraping and water. So yeah, and if anybody you need to explain this, sorry, my back is itching. I got mosquito bites. If any of you guys need any more like answers about particular things that are really you're wondering about what is it exactly that damages nails, I'm happy to explain that. I've explained it in a lot more of the lives, which you can find on YouTube, but definitely want to be able to help you with that. And I'm definitely feeling that coffee has not kicked in, and I didn't get to sleep till 2, so I don't know, I was just thinking about all kinds of good stuff. Okay, last question before I get into a couple of things that I want to hit with this one. Can I put the 4-ounce bottle in the freezer, like to freeze it? Is it good for it? Or, okay, so it is not good or bad, except for the sense that because of the cold, so either your refrigerator or your freezer, it's fine to freeze it. What happens is, just like putting our food in the refrigerator, it's going to make it last longer before it starts to spoil. If you leave it on your counter, obviously it's going to spoil in just a handful of hours. So that's what the refrigerator and the freezers do. The grapeseed oil is the most fragile. It has a shelf life of 9 weeks. The olive oil has a shelf life of 2 years, and then jojoba has an indefinite shelf life. It never goes rancid because it's not an oil, it's a wax ester. And a good part of our body oil is wax ester, which is why our oil is actually able to penetrate through down into your nail plate, all the way through, because there's only 2 things that the nail plate can absorb. It is water, bad, and body oil, or jojoba wax ester, can actually penetrate down through and up, because your body oil comes up through your nail bed, the pink nail bed up here. It pumps the perfect blend of moisture and body oil through your nail plate, and that's what keeps it flexible, and it's what keeps it from drying out and cracking on your nail bed. But once it leaves and becomes the tips, then it starts to dry out, and that's why it turns white. So yes, good to put that in the freezer or the refrigerator. And we have a couple people who have put them in I don't remember which one, for 4 years, and still behave properly and smell great. The fragrance may decrease a little bit depending on its reaction to the cold, but people have said that it still smells fine. There was one more thing I was going to tell you guys. Just come back. Please come back. Oh, well. I'm sure you guys have the same thing happen. Okay. The things I want to touch today is, like I mentioned earlier, we are doing a Bliss Kiss. We do this with every sale. We just ended the July sale. We'll have another one in January. But what we do after that are, normally it's just our Get Naked challenge, which is to remove your polish for 3 days and keep applying our oil. And after 3 days, your skin will feel amazing. Your hangnails will be decreased, if not gone, and your nails will feel completely different, because what we want is them to be flexible and bend when you whack them into a hard counter or a door, or and that's why a couple of my nails, I haven't had a chance to file them all down, but these two were short because I was pulling down, covering, closing the windows, and my fingers slipped and snapped these corners, and but I don't care, because I just shorten them all down to the same length, and within a month, couple weeks, I don't even notice, because they keep growing. So I keep going sideways. The things I really want to talk about is the Get Naked challenge, and then we are also doing 2 more challenges. This time we have one for people who bite their nails or pick at their skin, and I'm a very, very bad, naughty picker. So if I get any skin there, I will just work at it, and then it'll get infected, and not good. So we've got a bunch of strategies that we're working on with people who bite their nails and pick at their skin. And the reason for that is because it is such a hard habit to deal with. We all kind of have our weird habits and kind of OCD kind of things. Even people who have not been diagnosed with OCD, but we have little things. We have these little things that we do. And so we want to support people with replacing that habit with new strategies and tools that can help you so that you don't destroy your skin and destroy your nails. So we have that group, and I know Kirsten's probably watching. She'll chime this in the text. It is, go to blisskiss.com/healthy nails. And then the other one that we're doing is anybody who's dealing with a skin issue like eczema, psoriasis, excuse me, some of these other ones that have big giant names that sound scary and can be extremely frustrating, because since they're an autoimmune thing, there tends to not have a lot of medications that can help, and the ones that do help you can't really do long term, because then they're damaging, and so it just becomes this vicious cycle. And we've had some really, really, really great results with people. It takes longer. It can take anywhere from 3 days to 3 weeks to start seeing really good benefit, but a lot of people start to notice something quickly. So we have that support group over on, they're both on Facebook, but the best way to get to them is go to myblisskiss.com/healthy skin for the skin issue one, and then healthy nails for the biters and the pickers. And those groups are both closed, and what that means is you need to request membership, request to join, and we're being really good about staying on top of that every day so that you get in. And we keep them closed because we don't want weird trolls who are going to say very unkind things, because you guys are like opening up your souls and your pain and showing pictures that sometimes, especially in the skin one, can be quite startling. And what's really cool is to see people's progress. So anyway, those are the things that really want to do. And then also for all 3 challenges, when you hit the end of the challenge, make sure that you email us your before and your after and your testimonial. And then we will randomly draw 3 winners for each group, $75 and two $25, 110, a 20. I just looked at the picture. Oh my God, I feel like my brain is gone. Okay, so let's get back to some questions. Natasha, Anna, in your video, how to clean the back of your nails, you say to use water or alcohol. What's better? Whatever you've got around, that's what's better. Sometimes I use acetone. It's like whatever bottle is in front of me. But it's just having something wet that is with that brush so that you can very, very carefully get that dirt out of the corners. So just try both of them, and see which you like better. Somebody says, I have had the 4-ounce bottle in the fridge for 6 months and it's just fine. Great. Oh, and the other thing is, if it's in the freezer, and even actually if it's in the refrigerator for a little while, the olive oil in it is going to make it solidify some. And you'll see that more in the freezer. And just pull it out, put it on the counter for a half an hour or an hour, and it will magically all go back to the same. And that will melt. Bugs Bunny Elbow, hello. Hi, sweetie. Olive oil. Speaking of that, just in our team meeting on Monday, Preston brought up that there's a new study, something that's been done. A study is not the right word, but there was testing because there was some God, I can't think of the right words, but anyway, there was an analysis of, does olive oil actually contain 100% olive oil? And this was done down in Australia, and they found out that a lot of big brands are actually cutting the oil with cheaper oils like canola oil, and that's not cool. So it's very, very, very important to us that we know our sources and what product we're actually getting. We want, if we're going to get olive oil, we want 100% olive oil. So we just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that, and that it's very important to us, based on our mission of creating life-changing products with an exceptional customer experience, that we want you guys to have the very best product. So oh, somebody says my hair's cute. Thanks. It was one of these, just throw it together. It's too darn hot. It's gonna be like, and I know you guys are gonna laugh at us, but it's gonna be like 99 today, and tomorrow is supposed to be like 104 or 106, so we're hightailing it to the beach tomorrow, which is why I'm doing the live today. So yeah, I was just like, pin it up, make it do things, and anyway, it works. It's getting longer, so that it makes it easier to twist up. You guys will see me go over the year. I have it so that I can pull it up during the summer, and then as we get closer into the colder weather, I will chop it, and it'll be cute, a lot cuter than I really like it when it's down, but I can't stand like this blanket on my neck. So yeah, you'll see all kinds of hairstyles. Somebody says, yeah, but not the fridge. I want to put it in the freezer, icebox, whatever it's called in English. Yeah, it's okay. Keep it in the freezer. I want to know if it's good for the oil. Anna, I think I'm not catching all of your names, if that's the same person. You guys are being really helpful. My nails, Beauty Fit Mom, my nails suffer after gel. That is not uncommon, especially if you're going to a salon and they are not properly trained and they're filing down about 50% of your nail plate, because that's not necessary anymore. What all they need to do is gently buff that shiny surface so that the gel has some, and even acrylic is the same way now. All of the way that the progress that these products have made over the last 10-15 years, there's so many people who are doing it the wrong way because they're doing it the way it used to be required, and they're not understanding that the technology has progressed so much that it's not necessary to file down and scratch up your nails so that the product actually has something to adhere to. So it's usually the nail professional who's doing that, especially if they're not up to date on all of the training that the products offer. Actually, like the companies that make these different gels, they offer training. And people need to go to those. So that's actually a very good thing. If you're going to a salon and they are using a particular, what you really want to see is they're using a particular product and they're using the matching lamp that goes with the product, because the company works together to make sure that those two things are going to cure the product correctly. So there is no universal lamp that will do any gel. It's not true, and it actually can lead to under-curing or over-curing, and both of those can lead to skin allergies and also irritation of your nail plate. Even though it's dead, it just irritates the stuff out of everything. And then also the improper removal of not letting it soak long enough and scraping it off with a tool. Okay. Christina, your order came in. Yay! I love that these orders are getting to you guys so fast. In fact, I think there's a record. The record is 8 days internationally. And I think it was even shorter to New Zealand. My team would know. But anyway, why does Simply Peel have such an odd odor? Great question. Latex comes from the rubber trees, and in order for it to not harden on the way to a manufacturing facility and processing, it has to be put and suspended in ammonia. And ammonia, for those of you who don't really know what that is, it's basically our urine turns into ammonia, which is why those of you who change a litter box for kitties, you're gonna smell that ammonia as the urine has been sitting around. So ammonia is also an excellent cleanser for your house. Just smells horrible. Apparently it's a great glass window cleaner. So it suspends that because water isn't good enough. So it comes in ammonia, and then the manufacturer works to pull out the ammonia. And our manufacturer, who's in the United States, they have all of this huge ducting and these big giant machines that look like basically washing machines, giant washing machines, and they basically keep churning the product, and also they blow air, and then they also extract the air so it pulls out the ammonia, but they have to keep some of it in there because anything that has water needs a preservative. And if it doesn't, it's going to go bad really quickly. And actually, by law, it's supposed to have some sort of preservative. And ammonia is a great preservative. So that's why. We are working with them to see if we can create something that doesn't have that smell. So keep your ears open, and hopefully I'm going to find something. And that's part of our mission too, is I'm always looking to, can I do even our own products? Can I do them better? Can I create more value for you? And so that's important. Okay, so, somebody says I have the clips, and they're a true blessing to take my gel off. Yeah, I love them. Oh, somebody says I lost one of my nail oil pens, and I've never been so sad. I know. It's this is another funny thing. Funny, not funny. But we love to share with our family and friends and just talk about how awesome these products are, and then they fall in love with them and they permanently borrow them. So I like to say that women love to buy it, and we do have some men in there too. And then men, husbands, partners, children, they love to steal it, and then dogs like to eat it. So be careful around dogs of keeping those bottles and pens away from anywhere where the dog can get a hold of it. And toddlers are known to play with bottles and pens and destroy them. So just be careful. Um, is it safe to file nails while wearing polish? Yes. And actually, a lot of people find that it actually is very, very helpful so that you can see whether you're filing seriously wonky and crooked. And then I have a blog post over on nailcarehq.com, and you can Google that and how to file nails squoval. But I show you how, by using the back of your hands, yeah, back of your hand, front of your hand, but back of your nails, that by using that you can actually see better of whether you're filing straight across, and that's for square and squoval. But it can also help you in terms of filing if you're doing oval or almond, because, and if you can see this, let me get closer, this cuticle line that I've got going on, if you were to actually stick a ruler next to it, it goes off at an angle like that. So the best shape for us is what mirrors your cuticle line. But if you got a wonky one like mine, you don't want to mirror that. And it's very, very easy to do that. Well, it's just almost like subconscious kind of thing that you'll go at an angle. So this, for me, to be able to flip it over is then able to help me so that I'm able to get them. And also look at the way our fingers are. Some of them are wonky and bent, and that makes it even harder. So hopefully that article will help you. Just Google nailcarehq.com and also file nails squoval. Are acrylics bad for your nails? This goes along with the same as the gel. It's not bad for your nails. It's actually the products, the technology has improved so much. The biggest problem is the application and the removal. So you want to find a really, really good nail professional who is just going to barely just take that shine off of the nail plate, and that's all that's needed for, along with the primers and the dehydrators and all of that. It's very important that you find a good nail professional. So, and they usually are not the cheap chop shops kind of, so you're gonna pay more money. But you're gonna find somebody who really cares about you, cares about your nail health, your nail care process after you leave the salon, because you do need to keep oiling your skin and even oiling the product, because the oil does penetrate into just the top surface of the product and actually helps premature cracking. So you're going to get longer service wear if you're oiling regularly. So that nail professional is going to really want to take care of you and do a good job. She's going to want to make sure that the acrylic doesn't lift or pop off, all of that. Those kind of things can take layers of the nail plate with it. So it's really, really important that your nail tech knows what she's doing. And you know, if you can see some certificates on the walls, especially if she's, like, let's say, gone to an OPI kind of training, ask them if they have it. Hopefully you would see it on the wall if they have wall space, but ask them those things. And if they get angry, go away. Don't, they should graciously go, oh, of course, I'm so glad you're asking. That means that you are educated and you are really focused on great nail care and having that person support you. And then there was something else. Oh, this is a big deal. A lot of nail professionals, I call them actually nail techs, because the nail professional isn't going to do this. Somebody who takes their job very, very, very seriously. What most of us have been taught across the entire planet is that this band of skin right here is your cuticle. That is incorrect. Your cuticle is actually the dead skin that's on your nail plate that you can actually scrape off with your fingernail. And so do not ever, this is live skin. This is a guardian seal that protects your matrix, which is where the nail cells grow. And so you never, ever, ever want to cut this. What you want to do is make sure that it stays nice and hydrated with a good oil, like our Simply Pure. And then that skin won't dry out, which is what makes people want to clip it, because then if it gets all dried out, you feel like, well, it's not necessary. It is, but it's dried out. So let me see if I've got a picture that shows you some of this that's kind of lifting. I think this is probably the best one. Get out of the way, lights. Where you can see back here, this whole proximal fold, it's so dry that that's why people think, oh, I'll just nip that off. Oh, and by the way, there's the cuticle, okay? See all that dead skin on the nail plate? That is basically the skin that is being ripped from the underside of the eponychium, which is also part of that guardian seal. So that skin gets pulled out, and what I want to show you is what happens if you don't push back your proximal fold gently every once in a while. So you can see this cuticle, or this proximal fold, is dry and getting stretched out. And here's an example of it very, very stretched out, where it's pulling all of this proximal fold and stretching it out even more. So then if you push it back and you release it from the cuticle, you're releasing that proximal fold so that the band of skin stays nice and tight, and you're doing that very, very gently. Then if you're not doing that about every 4 or 5 days, and releasing that proximal fold, it gets stretched out. And then when you do release it, then you have this bigger flap of skin that dries out, and then we want to cut it. So it's just kind of this vicious, vicious cycle, and oil helps that a lot. Crappy nail art. This is such a good question, and nobody's asked me. Are the sheep killed when lanolin is harvested from them? Nope. All sheep stay nice and alive with all harvesting of lanolin, and what it is the body oil that gets into the wool. And sheep actually need to be shorn every year. I think it's every once a year. And they really, really need that, because if they don't get a haircut, that wool gets so big and it gets so matted that it can actually rip from their skin. So it is very important that we shear those sheep for their health and well-being. So then now we have this wool, and it's got, for the most part, it's going to have way too much body oil. So what happens is you pull that oil out by soaking it in a bowl of lye. And lye is able to separate out that the body oil, and then that's your lanolin. And I think it gets hard. So that's why people are able to use it in little pots if they're using straight lanolin, especially down in Australia, where they have huge lots and lots of sheep. Actually, that's where we get our lanolin, and it's a pharmaceutical grade lanolin because they've extracted the fragrance of it. Regular lanolin smells like sheep, and we don't want you to smell like that. So I pay 3 times as much to get that lanolin for our lotion stick and our lip balm. And so, yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And if you like go to YouTube and look up videos of how it's done, it's quite fascinating. So anyway, thank you for that question. Somebody says if I'm saying it right, is a really good top. Sesh, it's, yeah, you didn't get that in there right. Probably a typo. And what you're referring to, Tommy, is Sesh Vite. And it's not Sesh Vite or Vite. It's Sesh Vite. It's French, and it actually means dry fast. Very original. Sesh Vite is an excellent top coat. For me, it works flawlessly when it's brand new, but then when it's about that low, or it's not that much is left, it's that when I've used up just that much, then it starts to get so thick that then it shrinks when I apply it. So then it's just like it gets to the tips, but then as it's drying, it shrinks back. And so that's what people, when they say it causes shrinkage. So then what Sesh did is they created a product, because what's happening is the solvents in it, and they are different solvents than other quick dry top coats. And so those solvents actually help dry the layers underneath. It's quite fascinating. But because those solvents evaporate so quickly as a quick dry top coat, they evaporate from the bottle while you're working with them. And so the product gets thicker and thicker with more air exposure. And so what Sesh did was they created a product called Restore, which is those solvents. And it's not acetone, and it's not even nail polish thinner, because those are different than the solvents that Sesh Vite uses. So they have Restore, and you can just apply that back in and shake it up, and then your bottle goes back to its original consistency. My problem with it is that for me, obviously, as I get the shrinkage, and then I had trouble with the fact that I'm paying $13 for this, and then I got to spend $14 for the Restore, and I was just like, I don't want to go there. But so many people love it, can't live without it, totally worth every penny. And that's where, for each of us, it's different. We have to decide what works for us, and sometimes we have to spend our money and just test things. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. The great thing is we've got friends. And so if something's not working for you, it doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. So share the love. Okay. Have you ever thought about hosting nail challenges on your Instagram, Izzy? Send me an email of what you're thinking about, and we just might try some. That would be fun. Are you talking about nail art challenges? We certainly could do that. That would be fun. We're doing so much, and we have so much that I want to clone myself probably 3 times. I know Kirsten wants to clone herself. We have so much that's coming for you guys that we're working on. Oh my gosh. Oh, the stuff that we've got coming. I'm so excited. And I want to tell, but I don't know how long stuff takes. Sometimes stuff takes a while to get it up on the website and available, and so it's like I don't want to talk about it too soon and then have it take 6 months to get here, because that's just torture for everybody, myself included. Okay, is it okay to wrap your nails with gel, base, and top coats on the underside of the nails? I actually did that one time when I went to Maui, and I was like, I don't want to be polishing my nails. We're going to be there for 10 days. So I did use a soak off gel for that, and I did wrap it around my tips. What I noticed was that the gel, for some reason, it started to curve my tips even more. And so as you guys can see, I have a pretty strong C curve, and so it was pulling that even more, almost into an O. And being in water a lot, it was just, the water would seep in right underneath there, and it would seep in back here where the gel wasn't. And so I didn't like wrapping it underneath. But what I would do is, if I was wearing gel now, I would do regular gel, do your whole normal thing, and then on the underside, I would just use regular base coat and top coat. So that way, it's really easy to remove if it starts chipping. You can just use a little Q-tip, get under there and remove it, and then just reapply without messing with the gel at all. So I hope that helps. Roaring Tiger, hi Anna. Hi. Hey Dolly. I have thin nails that are very flexible and bendy, but when the nail bends from bumping it, the sidewall rips high on the nail. What can I do to prevent this? Okay, I'm gonna be snarky. Don't bump them. But in reality, yeah, life just happens. So if when you say high on the nail, I'm wondering if you're meaning way back here towards into the nail bed, into the quick of your right here. That's the hyponychium right underneath. And for me, especially on my thumbs, they will tear way back here, which is excruciatingly painful. But make sure that you're using our nail oil for a good, do the 3-day hydration treatment, or at least an overnight hydration treatment. And both of those are on our website. The instructions are on myblisskiss.com and then also at nailcarehq.com. And that will show you. And then what you want to do is make sure that you have at least 5 layers of nail polish. You guys don't know it, but I have really, really thin nails too. And I've had some health issues. So, and then of course I have the stress of our business, and it's good stress, but it's still a stress on my body. And usually when you're hugely stressed, your body just decides, well, okay, let's just take care of the core and your brain. That's the important part. And your nails and your toenails, sort of your extremities, are not as important. So you won't make as good a quality nail cells when you're not getting great nutrition and you're having too much stress. So it's very important, especially for me, I have to have 5 layers of polish, and that's 2 layers of a ridge filling base coat. It is 2 layers of my color, and then it is 1 layer of quick dry top coat. And if I'm feeling like I'm getting a fair amount of tip wear, then I will every few days do another layer of top coat wrapped all the way around. So the more base coat and top coat you get here, it's likely for it to kind of build up, especially because like it's hard to get it just to not touch the skin. And so you get a little build up there, and then it's really easy to pick at, or it chips easily under there depending on what you're doing with your nails. So yeah, lots of polish. That's what I do. And polish is really good for your nails because it helps prevent water absorption, which leads to peeling. And actually this is this good one. That is called peeling, and some of you all know what it is. And it's actually called delamination. So all of these layers, because water is getting in at the tips, water is shoving these layers apart. It's kind of like a sponge, where those layers, the water gets in and it just sort of poofs them up. And your nails do go back to normal, as we all know. You take a shower and they get all soft, and then they dry out after an hour, 2 hours. But what are you doing? Water is getting in there, and then they're expanding and contracting, and drying out, obviously. So water has pulled away all of the oils that are in your nail plate, and so the layers start pulling apart. And that is what peeling is. And so this is actually a really good one to show you guys also, in that if this kind of peeling starts to lift, then I will take little infant baby nippers, baby clippers, nail clippers, and I will clip away if it's sticking up, and then I will very, 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 very gently file that part where I've clipped it. Just file that part down so that it matches the rest of the nail plate. Don't do your very, very best not to touch the rest of the healthy part of the thicker part of your nail. And then if it's really bad, what I'll do is take a little bit of nail glue and I'll just fill in that area and then polish, and that seals it all in. So, and then for those of you who are dealing with a lot of tip wear, I'm gonna get my little thing saying you've got 2 minutes left. I actually have till like 5 after. What was I talking about? It's gone. I have microwave mustache. I have white spots. You guys are asking such good questions, and I have all of these great props. I'm gonna redo them so that they're not laminated, because my lights are killing it. Anyway, if you have if you have white spots like this, those are just nail bruises. So let's see if I can so back here where your matrix is, you banged it. You did something. You bumped it against a counter or something. And so when that happens back there, then those nail cells, rather than when they go past the cuticle line, rather than turning clear because of the nail oil, or the body oil and the moisture coming up through your nail bed, those stay white. They just do. And so that's all they are. They're little bruises. No big deal. They grow out. Don't freak out. If you seem to have many of them, and you seem to, you have several of them sort of stacked up, and if you have them on all of your fingers, what that means is you're going through life very crazy, way too fast. You're banging your hands all the time, and it's causing all of those bruises. So just slow down a little bit, few microseconds kind of deal. Just slow down and be deliberate of what am I doing with my hands. Even if you're digging, you're in the garden. For me, I'm dealing with horses and gardening. Just be a little bit slower and more deliberate of what you're doing with your hands, so that your nail tips don't bend, and also so that you're not whacking it. But it happens. So just be careful. Okay, got about 5 minutes. Oh, Dolly says, I just finished my first 3-day treatment, and my nails and cuticles are looking more amazing than they did before, and they looked pretty nice before. Yay! We love that. I know, it's just amazing. Many of you saying hello. Hi back. Do you know how to make your C curve not curve in so much? I have tried to file underneath my nails, but it doesn't make much of a difference. Do you have any suggestions to make them less curved? Yes, this is exactly what I do. And when you say I file underneath, I'm not sure exactly what that means. But what I do is, because of that C curve, and as they get longer, they curve even more, and they'll go into this O shape. And it actually gets painful because it's pinching the sides and the tips of my fingers. And that's part of why the oil is so important too, because when you get those tips full of oil, that relaxes your C curve also. So it's mostly drying out and getting longer. So what I do is, let me see if I can do this so that you guys can see it, is I will file this edge, pulling it up just slightly at a little bit of an angle. And then that's part of why I have squoval, is because then I curve that. But what that does is it takes some of that tight edge off and makes it so that that curve, my hands are not behaving, that curve can soften just a little bit. So that's what I do. Dolly's gonna post your results. Yay! Can't wait. I love seeing the before and afters. And so for those of you who have been following for a long time, you guys know how this works. But if you're fairly new, I post during the challenges, I post lots of before and afters. And this time I hope you guys will be patient and not freak out, but we would like to post the before and afters of many of the nail biters, and then also the skin. The skin issues, we'll try not to do ones that are gonna freak you out. But it's just amazing the results that people are getting just by putting this amazing oil on their skin. It's really, really life affirming, and makes my job, which can be very, very hard some days, it makes it a joy, and it makes it worth it. And it's like I'm really making a dent. I'm making I like to say, I have an alarm that says, "Good morning, goddess, go make a dent in the universe." And so that's what I really feel like I'm doing, is that I'm making it so that people can love their nails. They don't hate them anymore. And it's really nice to get to the point where you can choose how long you want your nails to be. So I love that. Do you sell a nail polish holder that holds polish at an angle? Yes, I do. Pinkalicious, go look at the Ladybug. They're trying to rebrand. They're also called the Polish Pod. They started, I don't know if they started, I think in the UK, and they called it the Polish Pod. And then when they came to the United States, I don't know why, but it's called the Ladybug. But it's adorable. It looks like this. It's so cute, because when you turn it over, it kind of looks like a ladybug. So anyway, this one, this little black dot, is curved. So, and then these two are flat. I can do this. Anyway, so what it does is it holds any, because of the foam, it holds any size bottle, any shape bottle. The only ones that it doesn't do are the teeny tiny little bottles that are like that big. It doesn't do those. Or if it does, if you wanted it to, you'd have to like put a folded up piece of paper or something in there to sort of help hold it. But anyway, so what it does is, if I've got a bottle of polish that is getting low, I actually tip it away from me because of the way I polish my nails. But what I love is that I don't have anything flat. Here, wait, my candle. Is that if I bump it, it just rocks. I love it. Love, love, love it. So that's why we carry it, is because when I discovered it, I'm like, oh, I need this. So absolutely love it. I've got one here at home. I've got one at my nail station at work. Love it. Okay, here's my 2 minutes. Mr. Sale, I'll still order more of your oil pens soon anyway. Love your oil. Thank you, Retro Flowers. Yeah, I would too. I would too. I've even told people that are international, I'm like, I would pay that shipping for these products. They're that life-changing to me. Cute blouse, thank you. You said the skin one is for eczema. Yes, my son, actually 2 of my boys have eczema. Dane's is the typical kind that gets kind of scaly and itchy and red. He's got it all over his neck, and he'll get it on his eyes. And then Andrew is allergic to water. So actually when water touches his body, it gives him itchy red splotches that will disappear after several hours. But he puts the oil on and it calms it right down within 10 minutes. His itchiness is gone. And then with Dane, when he applies it regularly, within 3 days, all of that scaling and that red is gone. And then he's not sitting there and scratching his eyes and scarring the stuff out of himself. So I know it works because of Dane, and he's been using it for 4 years. So that's why we started this challenge, and the results, go to the Facebook page. So go to myBlissKiss.com/healthy skin and sign up, and you'll be able to get all of the information and resources that we have, and you'll be able to see the before and afters. It's quite amazing. Okay, I have 24 seconds, you guys. I'm gonna miss stuff. Okay, this is gonna cut me off. So you can find me on YouTube, email, all of that. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.